Hi guys, I'm Michael Alishi, and I just want to give you guys a brief introduction on what I've actually been learning so far, which is CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery, or you could say deployment. So yeah, you're like, okay, so what is CI/CD? What is continuous integration? What is continuous deployment? Okay, first off, I would want to make you think a bit. And from the name, um, continuous integration, continuous delivery, I think you kind of get an idea that you are continuously integrating something, you are continuously adding something to something. And continuous deployment or delivery is that you are continuously sending that thing that has been added to another place. That's just the idea of continuous integration, continuous delivery. But in software engineering, we're talking about code. So continuous integration, continuous delivery is relating to um, integrating your code base, integrating whatever additions um, whatever additions you have to your code base continuously without stopping. Because okay, first and foremost, let's look at what software development is. Software development, as we know, is the process of creating a computer program that serves specific purposes. From initially conceptualizing it to designing it, then actually coding it, testing it, debugging it, and eventually maintaining the software, which would then be delivered to users as a final product. And our delivery is that whatever code you have, you know, um, maybe come up with, you should be able to place it on a server, where users can access. Because of course, the usual process of accessing a server is that you're going to type in on your browser www.something something.com. Now, the browser takes that as a message, then looks for whatever server on the internet that has that particular naming convention. So, whatever you're looking for, the browser sends it over to the server, or it eventually looks for a server that has that kind of naming convention, and the server responds, and that's how you see whatever page you're asking for. Now, yeah, that's basically software development. That is what software development is. Now, I want us to imagine a time when software development was like assembling, you know, jigsaw puzzles in the dark. You can imagine how that would be. Would basically be confused. Everybody would be pulling pulling their hairs out and all that. So let's imagine CICD, as a shining light. We revolutionizing how the developers build and deliver software. So basically, in the normal traditional sense, um, developers come up with the code after conceptualizing what they want to build, after after designing it, after um, yeah, basically conceptualizing and designing it, they come up with the code that they want to build. Now, in an IT, in a basic IT department, you have the developers and the operations team. So the developers are the ones that come up with the code, what we're actually going to see on servers. And we have the operations team that prepares the server, ensures that whatever code that the developers develop or come up with works pretty much the same way on the servers. Because we have problems where where there are problems where the particular code that developers develop don't actually work on the server. You have a lot of production errors and production issues. That's why some sites don't actually appear the way they are actually meant to appear. So yeah, developers develop the code, operations guys they prepare the server. So there's this time lapse, because developers would have to develop a part of their program, then send it to the operations team to prepare the server for such code. Now, the developers have to wait for the operations team feedback, you know, their operations team's feedback. They have to wait for it, and most times this this delay, of course, time is money. So of course, this delay can actually have a major effect, you know, in in the business. So very quickly, let me add that CI/CD came in place to reduce that time lapse in the sense that developers can now continuously their um, add their code. They can continuously add their code. That's continuous integration. So a particular code base, let's say a particular store, the developers add their code to a particular store, and from that store they can immediately send it to the server. Now it is called a pipeline, so it is called a CI/CD pipeline. So there's the build, there's the test, and there's the deploy. Now that testing part is what the operations team do, is what they do, like in the traditional sense before the introduction of CI/CD. So that's what they do that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, which of course is not helpful for the business. So that's what they do, and um, the developers eventually wait and all that. So CI/CD is basically that pipeline that reduces the time taken to deploy code, deploy products online. Thank you. Very quickly, I would like to ask what what uh, what do you understand by CICD? Yeah.